We're live on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Officially. For that 20 minutes we went up last time, we got 7 people watching us on YouTube.
Yeah, buddy.
1. Is it you?
Are we starting? We're not on Instagram yet, though.
It says we are. I just got somebody in.
Refresh. Oh, there we are. Yep, there we are. Couple people. All right, well, let's get after it.
You ready?
I am.
Let's do it.
This is the socially responsible episode 116. You get it, Brace? You get it?
I get it.
The Ultimate Deck Podcast. Need a show about outdoor living? This is where it's at with your hosts, Shane Chapman and Way Laurent. Thank you for tuning in. Now let the show begin. Yeah. The Ultimate Deck Podcast. Let's go.
There is no Wade Laurent today. Do you know how much that would cost just to take his name out for the day, though?
That would be tough. Every day?
Although the amount he's skipped lately, we should probably have a backup plan without his name in the start.
Why can't we just play the original?
Yeah, we actually could. That one's still on here, isn't it? No.
No, you took
No, maybe
it.
not.
Took it off.
Some of it, like the commercial intros are.
Yeah.
This one, remember that?
You're listening to the Ultimate Deck Podcast with Shane Chapman.
Just Shane.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
We should go back to that.
Sounds like a monster
I
truck
like that
rally.
one. I'm over the hip hop one, I think.
Are you? Already? You just got it.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like, it doesn't flow as well as the other one did. It doesn't lead into our conversation as well as the other one did. So,
Fair enough.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Are we doing moments of uselessness
Well, so
today?
what happened in my moment of uselessness this week is that I spent all of my time watching the GameStop stock move up and down and up and down and up and down.
So is that how we're going to waste people's time
Let's
today?
waste
talk
people's
about that.
time.
Okay. So you've been following this whole thing?
The whole thing. I think it's incredible. And I think the best part of it is that these people screwed over those hedge fund guys with an app called Robinhood.
Yeah.
Like, how much more ironic is it that a bunch of people got together to steal from the rich?
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
I mean, I heard you joined in, or you tried to join in.
I certainly didn't get in early on the GameStop going from $4 to $400. I didn't catch that gravy train, that's for sure.
Right?
I didn't find out about it till a little bit later, but I've been closely watching it since and seeing if there's another opportunity that might present itself with some other stocks.
And where are you? What are you looking at? What are you stock trading, Shane?
Depends on when you hit the refresh button to see where you're at. It's so volatile. Strathcona Exterior says that it's taken up his whole day. He's in on the GameStop.
Oh yeah,
He's ready for it. So
yeah.
do we try to explain this? Like,
I mean, we are not stock market
no,
experts.
not at all. So if anybody
Let's get
listening to
that out of
this,
the way.
if anybody listening to this is very financially adept, and understands this whole stuff completely, forgive me if I don't explain it properly, because my explanation is going to be my learnings from the last 24 hours.
Right.
So what happened, for those who don't know? So some people have made a lot of money on the GameStop stock in the last number of days, and other people who traditionally make a lot of money have eaten their ass to the tune of billions.
Yes.
So the very rich guys got hammered.
Got owned.
And the average Joe who dabbles around in stocks here and there,
Made a little bit of money.
Made some cash.
I guess some of them made quite a bit of money.
Some of them made quite a bit of money. If you were in at the right time with the right amount of money in it, then you've added a couple zeros to your bank account.
Holy smokes.
So here's how I'm going to try to explain this. So what happened is these hedge funds who traditionally use this what should I call it? Hack.
I guess that's what it's called, right?
Anyway, that's not the word I'm looking. This activity. What's the word I'm looking for? They do this thing called short selling.
Yes. It's a
And
strategy.
It's one of their strategy.
It's a
That's probably what I was
strategy.
looking for. Strategy, whereby they try to identify stocks that they think are potentially overvalued
Yep.
and are going to drop off. They play the stock market in reverse. Instead of buying stocks in anticipation of the stock increasing in value, they look at stocks that they expect to decrease in value. And so they do something called short selling, which is basically they buy the stocks on borrowed money they don't have,
Right.
kind of virtually. They buy the stock, but they don't own the stock yet. But they buy it for their portfolios of customers. So let's say they buy the stock it's currently listed at $10.
Right. Let's be simple here.
We're going to try to make this simple. They buy it at $10 with the anticipation of that stock dropping to $6
Yeah.
on a promise that the guy they're buying the stock for at $10, that they're going to buy it for him, that they're actually going to buy it at $6 and pocket the $4 difference.
Right.
And in the meantime, they go and they dump their stocks to drive the price down. They I don't know, probably artificially generate some media around it to kind of like try to push the price of stock down so that they can buy it cheaper than they've promised to buy it at.
Right.
And bank the difference. Well, what happened here, to my understanding here, is a Reddit community got word of this.
By the name of Wall Street Bets.
Wall Street Bets got word that this was happening, that these guys were short selling the GameStop stock.
Yep.
In addition to this, there were some amateur investors out there that like run YouTube accounts, specifically one guy, I don't know his name, but I watched part of his video. And he, this entire time, was a little bit bullish on GameStop. He's like, I think it's getting a lot of unnecessary or unfair media attention. I don't think that digital is replacing hard media as fast as they're claiming it is. So I think GameStop is worth more than $4 a share. I do. Here's why. Here's all the media attention. He's like, here's some proof from the gaming companies saying that like they reintroduced optical drives when maybe the next generation wasn't going to happen because they didn't think the market was ready to go full digital yet. He's like,
right.
But all the media and all these people are saying like optical's dead. It's going to be digital, which is causing the share price to be lower than I think it should be.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, maybe I'm crazy, whatever. So backed on that too. These other people are like, yeah, good point.
Good point.
They find out these hedge funds are short selling GameStop
To the tunes of billions.
Yeah. And they rally this group of like, I don't know how many people, there's a lot of people in these groups. They rally and say like, everybody go buy GameStop. Let's take advantage of this dip in price that the hedge funds wanted and buy it up. So they did. And lots of people went, like just average everyday Joes, went and bought a shitload of GameStop stock, which drove the price up because it's simple supply and demand. Drove the price way up. Then the problem was these hedge fund guys have to cover, and they actually have to buy that stock at some point.
Yeah. And guess what? It was now.
They thought $6, I'll make $4. Stock's worth $270 now, and you have to buy it.
Yeah.
And you have to give it to your customer that you
right now
only took $10 from. So they're upside down in a bad way, and they've lost billions of dollars. And all these guys in the Reddit group are like laughing, and they cashed in. And so then, of course, those who are used to playing the money game for their own benefit and making billions didn't like that.
No, they didn't.
And
they went and
the
told.
markets and the exchanges that manage the market said that this is too crazy. We can't allow this to happen.
Yeah,
we can't
the
just allow
NASDAQ
Reddit
manager
to influence this. We've got to stop, because they saw people rallying to do it again with other stocks like AMC.
They were going for it.
And BlackBerry and Nokia. And they're like, we can't let this happen. They basically blacklisted all these stocks and wouldn't allow any trading on them for all of yesterday.
Yep.
To avoid it happening again.
It's going to happen again.
And now they're open again today. And so we're seeing what's going to happen. And so a lot of people bought in to these other stocks in anticipation of the same thing happening.
Yeah, AMC and BlackBerry.
But the problem too is that a lot of these people that were triggered to buy into this based on emotion and like whatever are also equally as emotionally reactive the other way. So when it starts to drop a little bit, which it did yesterday because there wasn't any buying allowed, the stock price tumbled yesterday, which scares people off, and then they sell. So who knows what's going to happen here? Some people are holding strong, they're holding out, and they're buying. So to go back a little bit in here, Strathcona said he bought into some AMC.
He's on the AMC train.
And so I did as well. I bought a little bit of AMC, see what was going to happen. And he says some people turned $27,000 into $4 million in 2 days.
That's crazy. Where does that money come from? Like, that's the thing that always blows my mind. It's like, where does it doesn't just appear. Money doesn't just appear out of nowhere, does it? Did you just I can't just will this money into
Is this
existence.
our riddle? Is this our riddle of the week?
This is the riddle of the week.
Where did the money come from?
Yeah, it's just like they're taking it from other people.
Uh-huh.
That's all it is.
Yeah, the hedge fund guys.
The hedge funds. Yeah, they're taking it from the hedge fund guys.
They're financing the payouts for the little guy right now.
Because it was like $2.64 billion one hedge fund had to give
And
up.
now some people are like, there's been some lawsuits now against some of the exchanges or against the apps like Robinhood and
For
whatever,
what?
for freezing out those trades.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So they wouldn't let people buy them, and now people are suing them, saying like, you've cost me financial harm because I had the chance to
I had the chance to
cash
sell.
in.
Yeah.
You stopped this. That's illegal. Turns out, like in the fine print of all these things, that they basically say like we can freeze the stock anytime we want, and so there doesn't sound like there's much grounds for it. But regardless, so interesting.
Interesting. That was my week so far.
It's been everybody's
in on
week.
it.
It's been everybody's
Yeah.
week. So crazy, cool, fun story.
Yeah. And I mean, it caused you to buy stocks. I don't gamble. And that's what I see the stock market as. I've never gambled.
Yep.
Not a big gambler.
It is a place of gambling.
I mean, that's all it is, right?
Yep.
You just throwing money at things and being like, if it goes up, it goes up.
Yep.
If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yep.
So
Anyways, fun story from the week.
Yep.
God, do I ever wish I paid attention before this week? Hey, like
yeah,
if you
right?
could have, nobody can ever predict and see things coming. That's why it's a bet.
yeah.
But boy, if you could have made the right bet on that GameStop stuff,
would have been in
if
that
you were the
Wall
guy who
Street-
was in 27,000 or even 2,700, which is more my realm of
You would have
things,
made like $400,000.
$400,000. like, geez.
Incredible.
And so this is why everybody's chasing these other stocks now, because they saw how you can catch lightning in a bottle, and it's like, well, we can do. And in theory, how it all worked, there's no reason that you couldn't do it again.
You could do it with anything.
And that's the problem. That's why the markets now are shitting bricks, because they're like, we can't allow this much
We can't let
influence
people to
volatility.
trade.
Like, we can't allow average Joes to cash in on this stuff. This is for the
Right.
Wall Street guys.
Exactly. It's for us. Well,
So there you go.
now they got the government involved, so everything's going to change probably.
Yep. Here comes more regulations.
Here comes more. Yeah, it's it's a crazy day when the guy who is the manager of the NASDAQ is like, we need regulations. And
Yeah.
he's been the manager for like the past 40 years.
Yeah.
And hasn't said a thing about it.
Oh, hold on. The middle class is figuring this shit out. Keep them down.
Exactly.
Keep them out of here.
Exactly. We don't want them here.
Such crap.
Anyways, let's get to our topic today because our topic's a good one.
Okay.
And it's socially responsible.
Socially responsible. The topic today is we're going to go through the social media. This is a contractor focused one. This is a business. This is a marketing episode. This is not how to build a deck. So if you're Terry from down the street and you're building a deck this spring, probably this one's not for you.
I mean, unless you want to know how to market your deck.
Right. Unless you're going to build your first one and then become a deck builder.
Yeah, exactly.
Then this might be helpful. But what we're going to do is go through. The reason I feel like this is somewhat important is because I live this stuff every day, figuring out where we should be. I have a vested interest in it. It's how we market our business primarily. And so we're going to go through this different social media networks that are kind of like out there right now and talk about what's required of them.
They're
What's
always
What's the
changing.
investment? How do you
Yeah.
put your content on it? Should you be using it? Is it worth your time?
Should you be using the new ones?
And that's the thing. It is always changing. That's the thing that's frustrating with it is by the time you get one figured out, it's not the thing anymore.
No, exactly.
So you're on to the next.
Exactly.
So it's frustrating, and it takes a lot of time. And so should you be on all of them? Probably not.
Short answer, no.
Yeah.
Long answer, maybe.
Long answer is MySpace.
You still got Tom as a friend on MySpace.
Yeah, with the COVID going on, you should probably be talking to your customers through ICQ
ICQ.
Remember ICQ?
I remember ICQ. Yeah, and MSN
or
Messenger.
IRC chat relays.
I might be a little young for IRC.
Really, that used to be how we got our music, Bryce.
Oh, I was a Napster kid.
This is before Napster.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
So before Napster, you had to go into these IRC chat things. It was very technical. And they were just like chat platforms, essentially, like a big chat window. But
Right.
people could somehow, it was peer-to-peer in a way where some people could like list their repository of files or something. And if you typed in a certain code into the chat thing, it would trigger a download from somebody else's computer, essentially. And so that's how you could get music. You would go in there and be like, type in the code like at music, that guy's username / whatever /
Some command.
get like Puff Daddy, whatever, right? And you download the music. And
Really
then
what the
Napster
latest
came out
Puff.
and gave it an actual interface.
Right, exactly. And then pirates came out and they
Right.
stole everything.
So anyways, we're not going to IRC anybody anymore. But what we're going to talk about today, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest,
Instagram.
TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube.
I think those are all the biggest ones. I think those are all the best ones to be on, depending on what your clientele is.
Yeah, there's others out there, obviously, right?
Tons.
You could we can get into what's the so there's Parler.
I don't know if you.
If you want to be a right way, if you want to only build decks for racists,
and only use your computer now, because I don't think you can access.
Yeah, they took
Parler
it down, right?
any other way.
I'm going to piss some people off by saying that because it's a right wing platform. Doesn't mean you're racist, but I just think that's the narrative.
Yeah.
So whatever.
And it's like barely a
I'm
social
right wing,
media
so I'm
platform.
allowed to say it.
I'm allowed to say it. It's okay.
What's the other one too? I downloaded recently that was kind of like the backup plan to TikTok. There's another one called something, and it was a US version of TikTok. It had a lot of celebrity attention, and it was kind of like if Trump would have taken down TikTok and banned it from the US, probably this app would have been the biggest beneficiary
Was it
of
the
it.
Vine one?
Nope.
No, that was Byte.
I've got it on my phone, and I just can't think of it. Anyways, it doesn't matter because I don't
doesn't
think it should be there.
Don't be there.
Let's talk about the ones that you maybe should consider being there. Bryce, okay?
Let's start there. Let's
So
start with the big
We're
one.
going to go through like what's the time investment, who's the audience, what are the benefits of being there, what's the ad platform like, and what type of content works there. How should you post your content there? So Facebook, this is the obvious one. I don't think anybody here is going to say like don't be on Facebook.
I mean, like you should say Facebook and Instagram. If you're on Facebook, you should be on Instagram.
Sure. But you don't use them the same, I don't think.
No.
Well, you can. But obviously Facebook, so this is like you're going to have some good content, good input into here because this is what you do. You do
what I do.
social media marketing.
Yeah.
So you step in and tell me to shut up at any point. But Facebook and Instagram owned by Facebook now. They're both the same thing. You could do a lot of sharing between the two platforms.
Yep.
The ad platform is shared. Like everything's shared between it.
Yeah.
However, one's, I would say, primarily text and personal community driven, and the other one is visual and interacting with strangers more so.
Driven. Yeah, I would say.
So I know that we generally, like I share a lot of stuff back and forth between Facebook and Instagram because it does both have relevance. But on Facebook, you could have just a straight up text post. You don't necessarily have to have an image alongside it if
It's
you
true.
didn't want to. And
Yeah.
Instagram, you can't. You can turn some text into an image if you want. But
Yeah.
so what would you like? I'll let you go through this. What's the difference between the two? What's the time investment required to?
The difference between like Facebook and Instagram, I think, is your audience. Like right off the bat, like
Okay.
the types of people that use Facebook and Instagram are generally slightly different. Like people who are on Facebook are, I mean, in the beginning it was all about family, right? Like friends and family,
Right.
which kind of defines your audience demographics
Yeah.
right off the bat. It's obviously different based on your geography too, right? Like if you're in Saskatchewan, I would say Facebook is a better platform than Instagram. More people use it here
Okay.
because more people are in that age group. Like I would say 35 to,
Do you think that Facebook is still a higher aged demographic? Is it older?
yeah, I would say so. I mean, from all that I've seen on it, they're trying to make it younger with like stories, and
Instagram's aging too, though, right? It's getting up
Instagram's
there.
the same thing, right?
But
you and
like-
I are on Instagram.
But my grandparents are on Facebook.
They're probably
They're
not
not
on
on
Instagram.
Right. I don't have stats to back this up, but I would say that Facebook, you're hitting like 30 to 70 year olds.
Yeah, I think you're
Right.